Yeah, this is a response to Lennart Boecken, sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly, who has simply stated his video as "Atheism sucks," which is a very complex question. And so I'm just going to refute a couple of the statements that he makes. I know you might say, okay, it's a little bit mean to pick on someone of lesser age, but also I would say to some of the atheists who have been commenting, there's no need to be quite so rude. People are born and indoctrinated into certain religions. It's not their fault. And on that same basis, it's not your fault or your real belief that has made you Christian, it is your upbringing. If you were brought up in India, who's to say you wouldn't be Hindu? Have you got any disproof for the existence of the Hindu gods? Why is your god empirically the god? What about your religion that says it is? Wouldn't it be really unfortunate if you, when you died, you're already transcending up to the pearly gates, and suddenly you've reincarnated as a chicken in a KFC battery farm? That would be very unfortunate, eaten by some fat American later in after you die, and then reincarnated in something even worse. That would be unfortunate. You might also die, and then suddenly you're lying there, and your spirit is about to rise up to heaven. Suddenly, a lady on a winged horse appears. It's like, that's a Valkyrie. And she says, I'm afraid you haven't died in battle. You're going down to Niflhelm. Oh, what's that? It's a place of eternal boredom. You didn't kill anyone in glorious battle. Oh. Well, the Bible said... The Bible was wrong. Odin and Thor all the way. That would be very unfortunate, would it? Wouldn't you look silly? Now, what reason have you got there for therefore saying that your religion is any more true than any other religion? If you were arguing for simply the belief in a deity or pantheon of deities that have produced the world, that's fine. But there's no real point in arguing that your religion is truth unless you're considering the possibility, unless you're accepting the statement that first you have to argue against all other religions. Before you start attacking atheists, you have to attack every other religion and disprove every single one of them before we can conclude that your religion is the most true out of those. And then when you've got down to that, then you can start arguing with people who don't believe in God, because we don't believe in your God or that God or that God, that God or that God. It doesn't mean that you are any more right just because you really believe that your one God is the true God. Right then, lighting up the screen. If he's the all-powerful God, and if we don't believe in him, we're going to hell, he's not done a very good job of telling us. Firstly, because for thousands of years, humanity has gone without the Christian religion. That means there's a lot of prehistoric man, there's a lot of ancient man who are stuck in hell going, well, no one told me hell even existed. How was I meant to know that if I didn't believe in this God who didn't tell me about his existence, that I was going to go to hell? That's really rather mean. I will then also state that if you are believing that if you are an atheist, you go to hell, that people go to hell, isn't that again a very unpleasant character who says that if you do not believe in my existence against all reason, all fact, all observable cause and effect in the universe, if you go against all logic and believe in God, then you're allowed to go to heaven. But if you use your common sense, then no, that's not allowed. You have to go to hell. It's like, oh, I thought I was being... Personally, I think if some of my friends' version of gods have told me, no, I would go to heaven, I would get a stern telling off when I got up there, and so I would expect. But I would still be allowed in because I'm a good person. It's got nothing to do with what I necessarily believe. And other people, such as yourself, probably believe that the Buddha or say the Dalai Lama is going to hell because he may be a good person, but he's not Christian. I would question whether that's the kind of God you want to believe in, the kind of God that you think is worthy of your worship. That sounds more like a dictatorship to me than a caring religion. Even if I did believe in God, I wouldn't believe in your God because it's not pleasant. It's not nice. I wouldn't want a God that's like that. When I was a child, I did believe in the existence of God. Didn't worship him because I thought he was a bit arrogant and mean, actually. I just presumed all the gods existed. I just didn't understand the purpose in worshipping them. Okay, now you also state that communism, caused by atheism, was a terrible, terrible thing. And it was caused by atheism. The lack of fear of hell caused them to kill more people than anything else. What do you think would have happened if the Crusaders, the ancient Christian Crusaders, had access to guns and tanks and boats that allowed them to easily carry large numbers of troops and equipment to all the other infidel nations? I think the Christians would have killed a lot of people. I don't think it's got anything to do with our belief. People are just horrible no matter what their beliefs are. And the atheists just had better guns than you did. You had swords, we had guns. We're probably going to end up killing more people than you did. I will also draw the comparison between a certain communist dictator who everyone's meant to be equal, but he pulled himself above, killed a great many people, wanted everyone to worship him pretty much. But everyone had to clap, and if you didn't keep clapping, then you were probably, whoever was found to finish clapping first was probably going to end up dead. Bit of an egotist. Have certain feelings that perhaps there might be a comparison with a certain religious deity. Just putting it out there. You also comment that, of course, as you say, that without the threat of hell, we lose any morality. We're not moral without the threat of hell, which I've heard quite a few times. And every time it's made me question whether the person I'm talking to is entirely moral themselves. Because if you believe that you are only moral because of the threat of hell, I really hope that you never stop being Christian. Because you actually worry me. It's dangerous. I actually ask everyone else here on Atheist at this point, every other atheist on here, stop trying to make him lose his faith. Because it's dangerous. I don't know. Would personally be quite worried if I was at your school and you lost your faith, because I would be sat there going, didn't he say that if without religion there's no morals? Personally, I have no faith, but I have lots of morals. Excuse me. I have lots of morals, and I'm a very nice person. A bit arrogant in my niceness, but because I'm a cocky git, I will freely admit. But I don't drink, I don't smoke, don't get into fights. I'm very empathic. I volunteer with disabled people. I'm learning sign language so I can teach in a deaf school. It's got nothing to do with the threat of hell or the reward of heaven. I just am a nice person because it's nice to be nice and it's nice to make people happy. You don't need an afterlife to do that. And if you do, then I'd question where your morality is coming from and if you really have any. And I think you really have to think about that, where your morality comes from. And if it comes solely from God, then are you really a moral person? I think you really have to think about that. And yes, so atheists, please do not make this boy atheist because it's dangerous. And I think maybe there's a reason why ancient people in the ancient world used to use religion as a control for the masses, because we're a bit dangerous without it. Doesn't mean it's true, though. That's the important thing. Doesn't make it true. Okay, thank you very much. I'll put a link to the videos. If I've got anything wrong in my statements, please tell me. I don't like repeating fallacies. If I've said some particular comment that was incorrect. And please, I really want to hear your ideas. And please, no shouty name calling from anyone. Thank you very much. My name's Jacob, and I'm going to continue producing responses to people's interesting little videos. Thank you very much. Bye bye.